Visit tcgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit TCG Castle for more.
Looking to grade your Pokemon cards and you don't know how to do it? Check out Ludkins Collectables and grade your Pokemon cards with zero risk. Check video description or visit ludkinscollectables.com for more.
How's it going, Pokefans? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In this video, we'll be looking at deck for the standard format. So in this video, I'm going to play with the Honchkrow Tapu Koko deck. So if you're not familiar with the Honchkrow, this is a 110 HP fighting darkness Pokemon with that Raven's Claw attack. So basically, for the double Course energy, we can hit for 10 more, 10 plus 10 more for each damage counter on all of our opponent Pokemons in play. On the other side, Tapu Koko and Fly Flip, we can just spread damage counters around the board. And that's pretty much it. So that's the main strategy of the deck. Of course, this deck can be let's say, easily shut down if our opponent have Mr. Mime on his bench. So that can actually put us in a very big disadvantage. But still, it's a pretty cool deck to be used these days in the standard format. So 4th line of the Honchkrow, 4 copies of Tapu Koko, our main attacker in the early phase of the game, 1 of each Remoraid and Nectar for a Beazle hand, of course, drop 4, and 2 Tapu Lele's GTX for the setup. In addition to all of those beautiful cards, I'm running 2 copies of Counter Catchers, just because with the Counter Catcher I can just be in a disadvantage with the prize cards and then I can simply catch one of my opponent Pokemons just like that. So trust me, Counter Catcher is going to be a future once Guzma have been rotated. Energy Lotto times 4, just because sometimes we might miss double Course energy, but we might be able to search it back with the Energy Lotto, so it's very important to keep having those cards in this deck, as well as 2 Enhanced Hammers. I'm running 1 copy of Field Blower and 4 copies of Puzzle of Time, just because with 4 copies of Puzzle of Time, we can find any 2 cards from our disco pile and we can just put them back into our hand. In addition to that, I'm running 2 Rescue Stretchers and 2 copies of Special Charges for the Energy and Pokemon Recycle, as well as 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Statement decision, I decided to go with the Potown. It's a pretty good card. It can actually help us in some certain cases, so we can have even more damage on our opponent bench Pokemons if we play against stage 1 or 2 deck. In addition to that, I'm also running 2 copies of Bridget, and then I'm running 4 copies of Guzma, 4 copies of N, and also 4 copies of Professor Sycamore. More than that, there's also 2 Choice Bands and 2 Flowstones on this deck list, as well as 4 copies of Double Course Energy. Potentially, what we can take in this deck, for example, let's say we can just put 1 copy of Espion EX, and that would be pretty much it. So if you're looking for any of these cards, make sure to check tcgcastle.com or maybe Ludkins Collectables if you're searching maybe for some PSA graded cards. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck introduction. See you in the game. Alright, so we won the coin flip, which means that I'm gonna start first. This looks like a pretty perfect scenario for me. Looking at my opening hand. Oh, I couldn't really ask for more than that. So I'm just gonna play Bridget, and it's gonna be for something like this. Alright, so Octillery is actually here, so I'm happy with that move. And I'm passing my turn. For now, this is pretty powerful turn 1. There's like 2 Murkrows and 1 Tapu Koko on my bench, with Remoraid on the bench as well, and with Tapu Koko in the active position. What else you really need more than that? Pretty much nothing, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, so there's been Ultra Ball for my opponent, and probably he's just gonna do the same thing as I did. But the good thing for me is that right now I really don't have a single GX on my bench. Oh, and I'm surprised. So he decided to play N. That's even better. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, that's powerful. That's pretty nice. So I'm gonna take some damage counters here. So what can we do here? I guess I can play Ultra Ball, which I'm definitely gonna. First things first, I'm first gonna try to evolve. I'm gonna do something like this. Do I even need that Ultra Ball? I think I don't need to do that. But the thing that I can do actually is I can grab myself Guzma. So I can basically with the Guzma pull, grab in the active position my opponent, for example, like Oranguru, who have 2 retreat costs. So then I can simply retreat and use my fly flip and spread some damage counters around. Bot town is gonna help a lot just because if my opponent evolve into weak evolved, he's gonna take 3 damage counters, which is very important because 30 more damage counters for me. And there's the Ultra Ball, which is probably going to be for a Vikavolt, which means that my opponent actually have rare candy available in his hand. So he's hoping to pull something with Instruct, something that can actually bring him extra draw support, maybe a Flowstone Energy so he can knock me out. There we go with the Instruct. So next turn I'm going to Ultra Ball my Tapu and the top deck card for Artillery so I can Abyssal Hand, Fury Belt, and there's the Lightning Energy, and this is probably going to be a strong charge up to Oranguru, so my opponent will simply use that. No, he decided actually to add energies down to his, pretty surprisingly. He could actually knock me out. I'm not sure why he didn't do that. He didn't even try to retreat. Oh, that's interesting. In this case, I'm going to do something like this. So I can have Artillery in play. 5, 10, 12, 14. There's like a 14 damage counters. So I can go for like 150. If I can pull Guzma and double Cores Energy, Choice Band, yeah, I guess that's gonna be a little bit too much. Energy Lotto, always good. Always good, but unfortunately not in this case. I'm ready for another round of the Fly Flip. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, so right now there is just, it's obvious that there's just more than enough Pokemons on my opponent bench with tons of damage counters. It's just a matter of time when my Honchkrow is gonna start to apply heavy pressure to me. Alright, so there's enough for the knockout with his Tapu. He can use Natural's Judgment, he can use Tapu Wilderness. If he used Tapu Wilderness, will that be smart option? I guess it's not going to be. So there's a Skylo, so it's going to be for Energy Recycle. Alright. It's late right now, unfortunately not. So he's probably just going to strike, knock me out, and wait for the next turn. It's pretty much obvious there that I'm gonna win this game easily just by knocking out my own Vikavolt. How he can beat me in this matchup. Those Honchkrows are actually pretty cool. I like them. Unfortunately, they're weak to the Tapu Koko, so they can... Oh, so he decided to use that GX attack just to recover damage counters. There's like 8, 12, 19. Alright, so he have 19 damage total, which means I can go for 200 with the Raven's Claw. So I'm gonna need something big here. I guess I'm gonna do it. Top deck, Puzzle of Time. Actually it's not. So what I don't need right there. I don't need something like these 2 cards. So I'm gonna Beazle Hand and after that Sycamore. So I can discard with the Sycamore those 2 cards that I don't need. don't need that enhanced hammer, that's for sure, because those two cards are just unplayable at this moment. So I'm searching for the choice band, double CORSAIR energy, and a little bit of something, but I pulled nothing. And since that happened, I'm just gonna use that counter catcher, and that's pretty much right now. So I'm pretty much done. But before I actually do that, I'm gonna put in the front Honchkrow. After that, I'm gonna pass. All right, so a little bit disappointing because I couldn't find my double CORSAIR energy. That's the big downside of this deck. It is a really cool deck, but sometimes you just need to, you know, that energy. All right, let's see what we can do right now. The top deck is another counter catcher, which is pretty promising. In this case scenario, I'm thinking about just putting another Honchkrow on the bench. I somehow feel how it's really important for me to have enough resources available. Alright, so I'm gonna go with my Abyssal hand. I just hope it's gonna force energy. Unfortunately, it's not. I'm gonna do something like this. It's time to use that M. Okay. So another round of fly flip sounds like a good idea. But then that Mew is gonna be knocked out. I can for sure knock out his Tapu, which means good position. That's obvious. So let's just get rid of this tool. Alright, so the tools are going to be discarded. Oh, really? Oh, come on. I didn't discard that Tapu Bull tool, but it's okay. It actually happened. So I just hit him for like 200. And there's another energy load. Yeah, it was not a misplay, it was actually a misclick. Okay, so he decided to respond back attacking me with his Mew. So I need to pull that Guzma play, and I need to knock out with a single shot his Tapu Bulu. So there's like 150, and with the choice band is going to be enough for the knockout. I just need to get rid somehow of that fighting. And I don't think that's going to be a huge issue for me, just because with double puzzle of time I can grab myself a counter catcher because I'm going to be in that position. So yeah, I'm going to be knocking out there, that's for sure. So Natural's Judgment for 100. That's exactly what my opponent needs. And of course, obviously, I want to top Koko in the front. Oh, pretty nice top deck. So right now, I'm not sure what's the best. I can gamble. I can do something like this. I can play both energy lotos, because by doing that, I can have potentially a Guzma play with my Abyssal. And that actually happened. The only thing that I'm scared right there in this position is the fact that my opponent can surprise me as well with something like Acerola play. So if he play Acerola, it would be a huge problem for me. But if not, I can actually take a victory in a single turn. So we shall see. No Acerola play means knock for 2 prize cards, and then that's gonna put me in an advantage. Plus I can also Sycamore for 7. And I can also Abyssal Hand for like 3. There's a plenty of different options available. Okay, so he decided to put my Honchkrow on the bench and knock me out with his Mew. I'm not sure why he didn't want to go against my Tapu, but I know how I can actually win this game. And it's not gonna be easy, that's for sure, because I need that Field Blower. Oh, that Ultra Ball is actually gonna help a lot. Alright, let's see what right there. Abyssal Hand for 4 is gonna be a huge. Oh, there's just one puzzle of time. Okay, so how much I'm gonna lose if I mean, I'm not gonna lose. I have like, yeah, if I grab Sycamore, then I'm definitely gonna deck out. So yeah, I'm not gonna deck out because yeah, I have solution to win this game. Look at this. So I have 7 cards left. I'm gonna play Sycamore, then I'm gonna grab myself all 7 cards, which means right now I have 0 cards available. And then I'm gonna play Special Charge, so I can just recycle back my double Color's energies, you know. And that's gonna put me in a pretty comfortable position. More than that, I can play 2 pieces of puzzles, which means I can grab any 2 cards from my discard pile back into my deck. So the first card is gonna be a Field Blower, and the second card is gonna be, let's say, a Rescue Stretcher, so I can have more time to do something else. Then, of course, with the Field Blower, I'm gonna counter my opponent. Tapu out. Plus, I'm gonna take 2 prize cards, and there's gonna be Sycamore. There we go. And right now, what I can do, I can just do the magic right there by spreading more damage counters to my opponent Pokemon's in play. And I can also knock out his Mew, so I'm going down to 1 prize, which means that I'm in much better position. Simply because with the Honchkrow, I can win the game by Raven's Claw without any of my opponent Pokemons that he have, either way Oranguru or Vikavolt. So that was actually a pretty close battle here, but still not the end, because if my opponent can somehow pull that Guzma play for my Tapu Lele, then he can obviously win the game in a huge turnover in big fashion. So let's see what's gonna happen, right? There's the 1 Grass Energy. So he just needs that strong charge, and he simply needs a Guzma. His hand is just way too big, and probably he actually have Guzma, so I'm because he's well played. Actually did pretty good moves with that Puzzle of Time play, and so he could have, oh, there's a Tapu Lele, so he would be able to Guzma for the knockout against my Tapu Lele, which is going to bring him the victory. But still, you can see how pretty cool and how good this deck really is. So yeah, there's the Guzma for Tapu Lele. Obviously, at the end, that Tapu Lele just gave my opponent an opportunity to win the game. Still happy with the deck performance. So 210 knockout for less. It was very close game, that was for sure. So 650 damage counters was dealt in total with my Tapu Koko. Biggest damage output that I managed to do was 200. On the other side, 210 for my opponent and 770 in total. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this deck. So, till the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.